Oh my god, it's a totally real interview with Satan. This is awesome. I've been trying to track that guy down for ages. Ever since he broke into my castle, drank all of my whiskey, and then set the dog on fire. So finally, I'm gonna find out what he's been up to and maybe get a hint to help me find him.
Whew. Whoa. Lucifer in the flesh.
Wait a cock-blocking minute. That's not Satan. That's some guy in a rubber mask. What is this, some kind of joke? Well, yes and no. Well, this is obviously not real Satan, TM, and if you thought that's what was going to happen here from the title of this video, I'm so sorry that you are so incredibly stupid and don't understand sarcasm. But this isn't a joke either. No. This is actually a serious video making a serious point about how Satan am real guy and is real. So let's enjoy this ridiculous charade together.
Do you know how many journalists would kill? Wait, you probably do.
Well, it depends on who they work for, since journalists don't tend to interview their bosses, fnaf, topical satire, etc. Also, now you will decide that I was totally talking about the other guys from that network or news group that you hate so much, and couldn't possibly be talking about yours. And if that was indeed your first reaction, I'm definitely talking about yours, since mindless adherence to an in-group is pretty fucking evil in my opinion, that you better be agreeing with or you're out, sunshine.
First I want to say thank you to agreeing to this interview, because I know you are a very, very busy person.
You know, there are many things that I would expect out of the mouth of a Christian apologist, but I'll be honest, I have to say, thank you, Satan, really wasn't one of them. If anything, I would assume that even in some weird recreation of an interview, you might have just, skipped over that one, just so in case God wasn't into that. The guy's not exactly known for fairness.
Yes, I usually like to fly under the radar.
Satan can't fly. He ain't got no wings. This ain't some magic land. This is serious Bible nonsense. Also, yeah, if Satan were real, considering how ridiculous humans are, he would just walk around handing out ice pops for souls on hot days. Seriously, when the humidity's up, who gives a crap about eternal damnation?
But I figured, since I'm already on the campaign trail, why not?
Campaign? What, do you take a break? What are you talking about? You're Satan. It's your job to damn souls 24/7, 365. Any day you aren't doing that, you're just gonna lose more people to the true religion, Grand High Whiskeyism. And our great slogan, I wanna get spiritual. Literally.
Okay. First, let's talk about your reign. Now, you've had a fairly long one.
Fairly? It can't be as long as the world record holder's reign, which was Queen Victoria. Queen Victoria was queen for 2,000 years, as well documented. So I doubt he's been doing anything for quite that long. Also, as much as that's just a stupid joke I stole from Izzard, no matter how long anyone's reign is, they're all longer than Satan's, because they do that really annoying existing thing, and he just can't compete. Shit's not fair.
What would you attribute to your success and popularity?
I mean, sure, there are people out there who are into Satan in like a real way, and that's a bit weird. But still, like, most of the planet is either of the faith, which he's the bad guy, or a religion that he's not even a factor in, or one of us baby-eating atheists. And we only do that because they're tasty. Not because we're into Satan in any way, shape or form, because again, he doesn't real.
Oh, that's easy. Every generation is the same.
Generation. See, this is why this whole campaign shit doesn't make any sense. You know, generations don't really exist in that way. Like, if we're talking about the ones marked with names, Boomer, Gen X, Millennium, Z, etc., whatever, I might be technically of the same generation as someone who could be many years younger or older than me. And as I do get older, they are often so completely different from me that it's kind of wild. Like, I would not even want to hang out with any of them, nor they with me. In 90% of cases, if Satan is trying to appeal to everyone of a certain generation, he'll have to campaign on a platform of partying like sex-crazed and drugged-up maniacs, but being sure to be home before 10 to get a good 8 hours of sleep. Like, no, that's not how anything works.
I appeal to their lust and ego. I offer all the sex, wealth, and fame a person could want.
No, you don't. What are you talking about? Seriously, if it were as simple as selling your soul to Santa or Stan or whatever, I think the old do something extremely stupid for clout generation would be all over that shit. They have done enough extremely stupid crap already, and yet the Sell Your Soul challenge has never even trended anywhere. Maybe we should get that started.
Do as thou wilt has been my campaign slogan from the start.
Damn, not gonna lie, that is a much better slogan than do as I say for no adequately explained reason other than I'm going to beat the shit out of you forever, although what I say is more than a little ambiguous, so you are probably gonna get hit anyway because I'm such a nice guy. It really doesn't have the same oomph and is more than a little completely worthless. At least if you do what you say, there's some usable instruction in there.
And my campaign platform hasn't changed either. I run on the same 3 issues every generation.
I don't know what it's going to be, but there's no small chance they're going to make Satan out to be kind of reasonable, especially with our modern understandings of how the world works. I mean, this meme is famous for the fact that it really only makes the person holding it sound like a backwards hick, rather than any kind of effective warning against Satan.
Lust of the flesh, lust of the eyes, and pride of life.
I don't know if you know this, Mr. Satan, sir, but eyes are part of the flesh. They aren't some magical separate thing. They are part of the body. And you get that flesh lust often by actually using them. Man, it's like this guy doesn't even know a whole heap about biology, does it? And pride of life. Never understood pride as a sin ultimately. Does that mean you can't be proud of your kids? Like, if you are a Bible-humping God lover, if your kid turns out to be like you, can you not be proud of that? Doesn't make even no sense, man.
Okay. When you say lust of the flesh, what exactly do you mean?
Preferably with pictures and a practical demonstration, please. And who the hell is this interviewer if he doesn't know what that means? And if it's, oh well, the audience might not know. If you are catering to an audience that stupid, you really need to take a sit down and look at yourself. Because you done f***ed up hard if this is what you're having to do, explaining the obvious to idiots. And yes, the irony is not lost on me.
Come on now. What do I mean? Isn't it obvious? I just use humans' own innate physical desires against them.
Innate, eh? Explain that to aces. Those motherfuckers wouldn't fuck your mother if your mother wanted to fuck them for free. That's like their whole deal. So how Satan could use their desire to not do a sex, well, that's just really fucking weird.
And since sexual desire seems to be the most powerful, I usually run with that.
So he's lazy. Cool. But we all know that's not even true. The strongest desire in humans is well known, especially to me. It's the overwhelming desire to talk to me in public all the time, even with all the obvious warning signs that they shouldn't do that, no matter how many times I punt them across the universe, or scream unendingly, or just plain run away. They are just intent on making those goddamn mouth noises again and again and again. Would you please stop?
Now, I didn't create sex, but I must say I've done a superb job at perverting it.
There's nothing wrong with a little bit of perverting. As long as it's between consenting adults, do whatever the f*** you like. But here's the thing. How is it even possible that Satan perverted anything? Like literally anything? Because if God created everything and God is perfect, how is it possible that anything isn't exactly how he wanted it? And if you say sin, I will slap you through the internet so hard that your great-great-great-grandkids will come out without an ounce of stupid in them. God either is all-powerful and everything is exactly how he wanted, and so anything the devil did was all part of the plan, or he isn't. And well, what's his point even?
Take pornography, for example.
Wait, you're giving me pornography? Wait, like a piece of it? Or the concept in its entirety? Because if you're going to do that, I'm changing what it means. And as a well-known whiskey sexual, be prepared to log into Pornhub with a porn addiction and walk away with a drinking problem instead.
Well, you should know a lot about this one, Ivan. Weren't you addicted to porn?
Well, that's not very cool, brah. Weren't you addicted to being a giant dickhead? See, doesn't feel so good, does it? Also, is this porn addiction like it's actually a problem? Or is it the Christian porn addiction TM, where if someone looks at it more than once a decade, it's totally an addiction and there's something wrong with them? Calm down. I mean, if you're doing something multiple times a month that has the potential for mental health problems, I think you might have a church addiction. Should look into that.
This interview is about you, not about me. Can we get back on subject?
Yeah, what actually is the point of that? What, that Satan knows this guy likes to watch tentacle hentai? Okay, that's not very impressive. This is the internet. Of course he's into some weird shit. It's par for the course. But really, it's much more like the look at the scale and breadth of the universe that God made in his infinite power. Also, don't touch that thing sticking out of you, even though it feels good. If Satan is even fractionally as powerful as God, I really can't fathom why he would ever care what you do to yourself in private. Surely there's some war crimes going on somewhere else that are way more interesting than matey here's worn out dingle.
Now, where was I?
Oh no, now this is just getting sad. Satan really is getting on a bit. He doesn't even know where he is. This is just getting cruel at this point. I mean, seriously, he's not such a bad guy, especially when you check the kill counts of him versus God in the Bible. I mean, look at that thing. It's pretty impressive, really.
Oh yeah. What I do is gradually get someone addicted to porn.
And here we see the porn gradient scale. You see here we have vanilla sex, pretty basic shit. And then you go up the chart, you see the more unusual tastes until eventually it's people fucking planes and buildings. It's just one of those things that can't be stopped. If you watch porn even once, you'll be fucking a library before the week's out.
And once lust has had its full work and he and she can no longer restrain themselves, they usually look to act out their fantasies on someone.
Ah, of course, the implication being that anyone who enjoys porn is basically already a sex offender. It's about as stupid as those who lust are already adulterers, which is frankly, I don't see that having the cognitive effect that you would want. It's supposed to be never ever do this ever, but really it's more like, what's that? You already thought about cheating on your wife? Well, you might as well, since you already as good as did it. Stupid, stupid, stupid shit with no room for actual self-control. No wonder those preachers railing against sex and drugs are almost always found knee-deep in crack and candy, with an eye.
And sometimes that someone is a child.
Oh, f*** you, Satan. Even having a porn addiction doesn't suddenly make you into a monster, for f***'s sake. That's like saying people who enjoy guns are automatically murderers because some people who like guns kill people. I'm sure a lot of crims bobs would think that was wrong, so why the hypocrisy when it's something that you don't like? Oh right, because hypocrites, yeah.
Now, my plan plays out perfectly. That abused child will eventually turn to a life of promiscuity and perversion themselves, allowing me to continue my vicious cycle. And here's the kicker. Many of those abused girls end up right in the porn industry.
And God does nothing about it. And seriously, if that's all sin and bad and God hates it, but that person literally couldn't make a single choice in that situation, what exactly is God's plan other than to torture someone forever because they drew the short straw? If anyone is committing the greatest evil of this situation, it's fucking God. I mean, Satan's only doing the job God made him do and unable to do anything else. It's a good job neither of them exist, or this shit would be an impossible problem to square.
Now how's that for irony?
It's not ironic, it's just a bit sad. But again, much like viewing porn, being in porn doesn't make you a bad person, and certainly doesn't make you worth an infinite damnation. And only a total asshole would think otherwise.
The second thing you had mentioned, I believe, you said lust of the flesh, lust of the eyes. Can you elaborate?
It's when you are really, really turned on by bowls of eyeballs. It's very common and tasty fetish that we have all partaken in at some point in our lives, don't lie. But seriously, if this is basically exactly the same as the last one, Satan really is lazy. I mean, I can come up with loads of original sins, like pooping a cabbage onto a wedding cake or greasing up a panther and throwing them into the sea.
Humans are never satisfied. You always crave more. Bigger house, bigger car, more money, more power. The list goes on and on.
Wait, so this isn't lust of the eyes, it's wanting things. Because surely if that were the case, blind people couldn't possibly want things. But I'm sorry to tell you that blind people are people too. And even if they can't see a bigger house per se, that would not stop them from wanting it, or anything else really. Honestly, this all just sounds like bad writing on behalf of a shitty YouTube channel trying to make an even worse point.
I just take their natural ambitious desire, pervert it, and use it against them for their own destruction.
You have been perverted into wanting a nice place to live. Boo-ha-ha-ha-ha. Damn it, Satan. Apart from being kind of a dick about people who make porn, you're really, really lame. Like seriously, that's your big plan? To have people want things? So fucking what? Nice things are nice. There's nothing wrong with that. And the vast majority of people aren't going to do fucked up shit to achieve it. So unless this is going to be some diatribe about corporate sociopaths jacking up the prices of insulin, you really don't have much of a leg to stand on.
My plan is to allow them to never be content. As long as I can keep them craving what others have, I can depend on them to argue, fight, even kill to get it.
Unlike God, who gets them to argue, fight, and kill for no reason. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, Satan really doesn't sound like such a bad guy. It's just a shame for you that he and the God that made him are as fake as this lame-ass video.
Wait, before you go, I have something super important to tell you. It's life or death. It will change everything forever. Nope, wait, it's gone. Oh well, probably wasn't important. But while I have you, don't forget to comment, subscribe and notify. And if you want more of my smexy voice, check out Mrs. Six's channel Spoonstaff Stories, where I narrate and voice all the videos, and she does the work. And if you want to support the channel, check out the merch store for cool t-shirts, or check out Patreon, memberships and PayPal to support directly. Finally, follow me on the medias of social to get completely pointless guff and to keep up on the latest releases. Oh, I just remembered what I was going to tell you. Whatever you do, don't touch the